Okay, welcome at Steve Harris. Welcome.
Drats.
Ooh, we're live.
Here I
Shame on
was.
the devil.
Here I was saying it was a sign this was not going to happen.
No, it is sign is supposed to happen. You should know this now.
Christ.
It's
I
a
was really excited. Like, okay, Lord, it's a sign. I hear you. It's not working. I'm
no.
going back to
God
bed.
wants this to happen. I trust me.
I
You're
trust.
welcome, my brother. Welcome. This is Quiver Full Ministry. Just a brief of who we are. We are an NGO, interdenominational ministry. Uh, Basically, what we do is we focus on women who are expecting babies, and we also help them majorly to assist in what do you call it, IVF, those who want to seek medical assistance and they can afford it. This ministry was born out of my own personal struggle with infertility. I've been married 22 years now. We've tried it all, and really for me this is like it's almost like this is what I was born to do, because I feel the pain of women because I've walked in their shoes. When you're trusting God for babies, you really want to seek medical help, but you can't afford it. I've been there. I've been there when I was pregnant. Just because I couldn't afford 3,000 naira from a private clinic that we were using. I lost the baby for some over the weekend. I started spotting on Friday. By Sunday, the evacuation was done at I don't want to mention the clinic, but where we go when we can afford, a decent hospital. So this is how it started, and I've been through 10 IVFs personally in my 22 years journey, and I am at a level that I've said, you know what, God, I'm done. I am done. It doesn't my having biological babies or not, because I have an adorable son now. Who's like a replica of his dad, So whether I have a biological child or not doesn't change who God is, doesn't change my love for him, doesn't change the fact that he loves me. So as much as God will help us through Quiverful Ministry, what we want to do is to assist in time when a woman is still young and, it could get medical help. For those who believe in it, many people are still struggling with this. So, so far, we've recorded major testimonies around this area. Last year we had 4 babies. This year we're expecting about 7 babies, 1 triplet, 1 twin. So God has been faithful. It's not easy. We struggle a bit. We have an hospital that has been so supportive, Olive Branch Clinic. Dr. Emeka Inkena has been amazing. It's an awesome man. Awesome man. God will bless and preserve him for us. We pray for him every day. So it's not like we have money. And as I speak, I think we owe him about 15 million, but it doesn't stop him from us, attending to women that I sent there. So this is the story. And I know that, a lot of things we do, regularly to really minister to women. We want to make sure that, women their esteem are not like, tampered with. They still are able to walk and, fulfill God's destiny, despite the fact that they're still waiting for babies. Because what we found out, Steve, is that a lot of people suspend their lives and, career is not working. Nothing is working. In my case, God helped me to I have an amazing career. I enjoy what I do. I have a fantastic career. That area, God has helped me. So what I'm teaching people is to say, look, you don't have to put your life on hold. Everything, there must be something working. So, but if you suspend your career, for example, because you're still looking for babies, those times that you've lost, you can never have it back. I had my first degree at 40. I was already married, by the way. I had my second degree. I was already married. I didn't have babies, but I had time to build my career, and I have an amazing one. I work with a multinational today, flying all over the place as a result of what I've been able to do with my time. But I cannot deny the fact that there are times that society wants to remind you there's something missing. But I've made up my mind that I've chosen to live my life and be happy, irrespective of whatever situation it's. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be married. It's a privilege to be married. There are things to be grateful for. I have an amazing husband. I am happy that I have a good relationship with my husband. I have amazing in-laws. No family is perfect. So basically, we just want women to live their full potential. And on this journey, Steve, we've realized that, as with several, topics around, we hear wife battering, men, beating their wives, but there are men who are going through serious emotional abuse in their marriages. Who's speaking with these men? There are men who are also traumatized as a result of, waiting. Who is speaking with these men? We look at them who are macho men, but these are real men, real issues. And we can't continue to pretend like men are not human. They are human. We're created in the image of God. Bible says that God created us in his image, and if he created us in his image and we are like him, so why would not have emotions? Jesus wept. Why can't a man weep, for instance? We can be vulnerable. And that is why, Steve, I'm so honored and happy to have you on this live chat. Last month we had an amazing time with a friend of mine, Emmanuel, at Perspectives, who also opened up. I know his story, but for him to come to a live session with me, I really cherish it, and I appreciate you, Steve. So I'm just going to give you a few minutes. The reason I invited you is, like, I know you're an influencer, in social media. On social media, you have like about over almost 4,000 followers. That's huge. And so that's why, because we will deliberately pick you, because we know that men who look up to you, who are going through things, they come to you for mentoring, for coaching on business, but they never let you into this part of their lives. But it's a major issue. So that's why I want you to be vulnerable with us, so that they can know that, oh, the Steve Harris too is human, okay? So I'm going to leave the floor open to you. You're welcome. Thank you so much, my brother. The floor is yours.
Well, first off, thank you very much, Cathy, for having me. Like I said, when we weren't able to go live on your ministries page, I was like, Lord, this is a sign. Thank you. I am not. I don't want to do this. And to be really honest with you, I still don't want to do this. I mean, till 10 minutes to this live, I was still telling my wife, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this, because this isn't something that I'm comfortable with. And to be honest, I don't even think I've dealt with my own personal demons regarding this issue. So it's one of the things that I don't talk about. It's one of the things that I don't pray about. It's one of the things, shout out to everyone who's here watching, hoping to see me cry. You may see me cry. I hope it doesn't happen, because I have I have a reputation
to protect. To cry. Jesus Christ wept too.
Well, yeah, but he only did it once. He only did it once.
Yeah.
So, right. But so for me, this is a really difficult topic to talk about. I'm still, like I said, I'm still trying to wrap my mind. This is a conversation that, I'm not gonna lie, I don't pray about. You know how it is, where everyone, because I've been married 12 years. I'm sure my wife is watching. She was like, don't worry, you won't cry. I'm like, look, that so I know she's here watching. So, and to everyone who came here to watch me cry, God bless you too. But I've been married for 12 years. We have a daughter, Paris, and she's 10. And you know how it is, you get married and you say for the first year you want to wait it out, and hopefully have children from the second year. So the first year, nothing happened per se. We didn't mind, so to speak, because we kind of figured that, well, it still falls in our plans. But towards the second year, we had a couple of miscarriages. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we had like 3 miscarriages within a year. And each one was very, of course, very, very painful. very debilitating to say the least. And ultimately, we had our daughter, Paris, within our second year of being married. And we kind of figured that, from there, the floodgate, so to speak, will be opened, and it's not rocket science. So we had my daughter, and, we focused our attention and our love on raising her and being the best parents that we could have. And ultimately, at the end of the day, maybe when she was about 2, 3, you start hearing conversations about, oh, when is she gonna have a brother, or when is she gonna have? Hey, my brother's here. Jimmy's here. What's up, Bobo? Right? When's she gonna have a brother? You should give her a sister. What's are people waiting for? The whole, Nigerian African thing. And of course, they mean well. But we started noticing that nothing was happening. We would try, and we would have a lot of, near misses, where I think initially where my wife would say, oh, she hasn't seen her period, and we'd get excited like, yay, and then maybe a couple of days later it just disappears, you know what I mean? And being a man, it's not one of the things they prepare you for, because women unfortunately are the ones who go through so much pressure and so much if she's not pregnant, it's not the man's fault, it's her fault. And thankfully, I have always been very protective of my wife. So I never allow anyone to make those statements of her, make those statements to her. Back in the day when my parents didn't understand and they would say things like that, I would get incredibly angry, and I would warn them, don't talk, don't even bring it up. Just leave my wife alone. Thankfully, my parents understood. Eventually, it took them time, but they mean well. They say, "Oh, go to this doctor. Oh, have you tried this? Oh, have you tried that?" And everything they say, "Have you tried?" Like, yes, 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 yes. Oh, drink ugu. Yes. Oh, true. It's a cola. Whatever.
Wear loose boxers.
Wear loose boxers. Sleep naked. We've done it. You know what I'm saying? So it's incredibly so after a while, I started shutting it off. So every time my wife would see her period, as the case may be, no matter how, because initially what was happening was we just thought it was a normal cyclical thing, and eventually, the body will regulate. I mean, she did tests, I did tests. Medically, there's nothing wrong with this, but I kind of figured now that maybe my babies want to be born in America, so the sooner the better. They don't want to be. They don't want to be born in
Americana.
So that's just what it is, because my daughter is pretty much American as it goes. So I'm like, I might as well just have my kids in the U.S. But yeah, so every time she started seeing her period, then she was very emotional, so I would have to comfort her. And in comforting her, I would bottle my emotions. Hello, Doreen. Hello, sweetheart. I'll bottle my emotions and try to be strong for her. So I mean, thankfully, and my wife I know she's watching. I have never in 12 years poked a finger at her. I've never in 12 years blamed her. I've never in 12 years, even when sometimes she would have those, maybe it's my fault. I'm like, no, it takes two. I mean, I'm sure there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with me. And, maybe the problem was with me. I even started thinking, to be honest, that, maybe God was punishing me for all my sins when I was single. I was like,
no, that's not God. That's not God.
I know. I was like, look, Lord, okay, Jesus, I'm sorry. Okay, so how many people did I date before I got married that I've broken their hearts? Okay, all of them have cursed me at me. So that's how I started. I started feeling really bad. But then ultimately, I think, I was very deliberate not to blame her or cast aspersions on her. I would take blame where possible. And I started noticing that, in being strong for her, I would bottle these emotions for myself. I can't count the number of times I've gone to my car to cry. You know what I mean? I can't count the number of times I've driven out of my house, just taking a long drive. Just drive, just keep driving. You know what I mean? Just keep driving and just hanging in there. You know what I mean? Just driving and just driving and driving and just parking somewhere off the road and just crying and crying, crying. And then I clean my face, and then I come back home like nothing is going on. You know, it is hard. I've had those situations where, when my wife tells me, and she knows because we've had these conversations, where she says, oh, oh, so let's give you an example. So we have this thing. So, when she's on her period, so this is going into our bedroom a little bit. So when she's on her period, is it on her period or whatever? Yeah. What happens is, so when she's on her period, she puts this red towel on the bathroom door. So I started noticing, we'll make out, we'll make love, and everything will be fine. And then you start noticing those symptoms that she's eating more, she's doing this, she's nauseated, she doesn't want you to touch her. And as a guy, subconsciously you're like, okay, maybe she is, maybe she is, maybe she is. I don't even want to say anything because I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to jinx it. So I just ignore and pretend like I don't notice anything, and then she's eating, she's doing all those things, and in my heart, I'm like, God, please, God, please, God, please, God, please. And then, she just goes and she puts the red towel on the door, and she puts the red towel on the door, and for me, it just goes back to the beginning. It's like how you have a computer and you're updating a software and it's counting 11%, 15, 17, 23, 45, 90, 91, and then just before it gets to 97, it rolls back and goes back all the way back to zero, and every month that happens. When that happens, it messes with my faith. I'm not even gonna lie. It just messes with my mind and messes with my faith. I've never resented her because, like I said, it's a two-way street. Love is a two-way street. Love is a decision, and I'm committed irrespective. You know what I mean? So when I hear, when that happens, as a guy, it just messes with me because, the next month you're meant to, so she's even stronger than I am. I'm not even gonna lie. She's even stronger than I am. Because she just dusted off and she's living her best life. And I'm like, look, girl, you are more than, thankfully, the daughter we have is like having 10 sons, and I'm grateful that, God gave me a daughter. And I've never been the conventional husband. I'm not the guy who says, oh, I must have a son. Would it be cool to have a son? Oh, absolutely. But I have a daughter and I'm grateful, and she's earth and sky, to me. So I am committed to making sure, so I don't lose anything. I don't feel like, oh, I don't have a son, or I don't have more children. I have the one I have. The one I have is beautiful and she's smart and she's like 10 boys, 10 sons to me, but every month, and, when the towel comes up, you then have to now, what's the word? Get into that place where you feel like, okay, we have to, so sex now became, and mechanical, because I'm like, what's the point, man? What's the point?
I know.
What's the point? Yes, it's recreational. Yes, it's fun. Forgive me, but what's the fucking point? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I can relate.
Like there's no need, So you do it because you do it. You're not doing it with the expectation of reward. You do it because it bonds you guys, it connects you guys, but you have no expectation, literally. And I've had all those things. You go for treatments, you go here, you go there. We've gone to those things, and women have women get the short end of the stick because it's women who most times have to take all those pills, they have to take all the injections, they have to go through all those procedures, and it's so uncomfortable. It's so after my wife had tried all these couple of treatments together, and I'd done some as well, and it didn't work. I was like, look, what? Don't forget, don't do it again. I don't even want you to do it anymore, because she's trying. Sometimes she's trying to work on her fitness and her health, and then she's taking treatments and it's making her bigger, and then her moods are changing and she's sad. And I'm like, it's not worth you going through all of this. You know what I mean? What does the guy get? I mean, the guy goes to the hospital, he gets a bunch of maybe pills, take this, take this. He takes pills. It's not like I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. When we go to the hospital and they say you have to do you have to give a sample as a guy, it is the hardest fucking thing for me to do. It is embarrassing. Forgive me, I'm swearing, but forgive me, I'm terribly sorry. It's the hardest thing to do, because you have to take a sample, and I don't jerk off. I don't masturbate. It's not natural to me. Some guys can do that.
Yeah, I know.
It's not. So when I go there and they give you the cup, and it's so embarrassing, and then you walk in there.
I know.
I'm sorry. Just give me a moment.
It's okay, Steve. It's okay, Steve. It's okay. It's okay. I believe, Steve, that God dropped your name with Quiver for this program for a purpose. Not only for your healing, but for everyone that will watch this program afterwards. And you know what? Let me tell you something. God's not done. It's not done. Just, I have a friend, Steve, who also waited. I mean, she lives in the UK. Coincidentally, she's around. I don't know if she's watching. It was her husband that spoke at the last month's event and all that. When we talk about this, she also has been married for like 21 years. I think she married a few months after us. We're going to be 23 in January. And she tells me, because really, I really tried. Steve, I tried. 10 IVF is not a joke.
Yeah.
I tell people, you know what? I don't want to die looking for a baby. No, I want to live. And that's what I've decided to do. So my friend will say, Nike, why are you telling me? I don't know what you're talking about. You think I don't have faith? What does it take to have babies? It's to have sex, and I'm having it. I'm playing my role. I'm having the sex. If the pregnancy does not come, what do you want me to do? So, but I believe that, Steve, there's a purpose. I don't know what it is. Honestly, I don't know. At some point, I was actually almost going to give up. I'm going to tell you some things after the program. I was like, is it really Steve? Is it Steve we should bring? But God has a plan. And I believe God is saying something even to you right now. That son, just enter your rest and enjoy the wife of your youth.
Yeah,
enjoy the wife of your youth.
I know. I know.
Yeah, and it's good to talk about it.
Yeah,
it's good
but
to cry. I've cried too.
But forgive me, and forgive me. I mean no disrespect, and thank you to everyone who's watching. I'm embarrassing myself live. This is ridiculous. But
no, you're not embarrassing yourself. You're a man. You're being a man.
I mean no disrespect, but I've heard these words. I hear them every day. I hear them every day. And like I said, I tell God, I'm like, look, Lord, help my unbelief. The Bible talks about Jesus healing the guy who was blind. And he says, do you believe? And he says, Lord, I believe, but help my unbelief. And for me, it's like, Lord, I know you can. I just don't think you will. Not for me. Not at this time, because I've heard it and I believe it. I've heard, I believe, but I don't believe. It hurts to believe.
No.
I know.
It will do it, Steve.
I don't say that. Don't say that.
You will.
Don't say it. Please don't say it. Don't say it. Please don't say that. Just I've accepted. I know. If it happens, it will. But I'm not. I don't want to believe anymore. because believing hurts. Because believing hurts. Because it comes with disappointment, you know. So I'm okay. I'm okay. Just please don't tell me to believe. Don't do that. Just I'm here because I know I know that many other guys probably go through this as well, you know, and it causes us to try, you know, to try. Look, I told my wife, I tell my friends in confidence, and thankfully I have good friends. I have good friends like Jimmy Tewe, Bankole Williams, Fela, PI. Have really good friends. If I didn't have good friends, I would have told, I would have had babes everywhere to just say, let me even try. Is it my wife, or
I
is it,
know, I know.
I should go try. Maybe I should get
No,
somebody pregnant just for that. But I'm not that person. I'm not that person. So when you say it'll happen, I know where you're coming from. I believe, but please, my unbelief is what I have right now, and it helps me not to deal with these things. Look, I'm a preacher. I'm not a pastor. I'm a preacher. I preach the words. I inspire, I encourage. It's what I do. But like the Apostle Paul says, maybe sometimes, we all have that thing we're afflicted with, and if it happens, it does. But for me, my unbelief is not because I don't believe. It's because I'm tired of believing. I'm just tired of believing. So I have no expectations. I am blessed with the fact that I have this amazing daughter that is earth and sky to me. And for me, that's the best thing. So if this is all that I have, it's fine. And the beautiful thing about it is, God has allowed me to be, and again, this is for the guys, God has allowed me to be a father to many. My wife was telling me this morning that, because you have a good heart, or a large heart, she says, God has allowed you to father many other children, whether they are
Yeah,
spiritual
yeah,
children or
yeah,
not biological
yeah,
children. I have a lot of
yeah,
people that I'm a father figure for, that I have been parts of their homes and parts of their marriages. I have many children. They may not be biological, but these are my children, and I am paternal towards them. So I do understand. I do understand. So I do get the prayers. I see the prayers. I see everything. But I don't want to believe anymore. It's fine. God. The beautiful thing is when the guy told Jesus that, help me because I don't believe, God's ability to heal or save is not limited to your belief. So whether you believe or not, God can, God will. So he
yeah.
doesn't need my belief to make the miracle. Lazarus was dead. He wasn't believing anything, but he was resurrected. And I think that, my unbelief in this matter, so to speak, is not because I don't believe God's power in you. I do believe, but I know that my believing or not is not a function of his power. Whether I believe or I don't believe, he is God and he will do whatever he wills. So
Amen. Amen.
that's
Thank
what
you
it
so much, Steve. I just wanted to know that, what is important. And honestly, you were just speaking my heart. Some of the things that, I'm not able to even verbalize with people, So sometimes when you're around spiritual people, there are things you don't want to say, But to be honest, I'm at a level as well that I don't even have expectations. But the only important thing is that my belief that there is a God. I believe in Christ, Jesus Christ, that is the Son of God. I believe he died and rose on the third day. I believe he's coming back again to take us home. That's, as long as that is not affected, I'm good. But to be honest, my expectations in this area is, the other day I was talking, one of our members in Quiverful was like, Sister Nike, you said you don't. I said, look, I don't pray about it anymore. For the best part of my life, I prayed, I confessed, I know all the scriptures. When we pray in my house, my husband and I, all the scriptures on fruitfulness in the Old Testament, New Testament, we know it. We confess it every day. When I go for IVF, I do all the confession. I prayed. Sometimes I don't even. I start walking as if I'm carrying egg. I've done all. I love God. If God gives me a child, I'm 56. Hello. I'm not.
Okay, you look
I don't
amazing.
even know how I will feel if I get pregnant. If God wants, and I say to God, I know you have plans for Quiverful Ministry. If you really want a message to the world, you can give me a child. I will know that this one is for Quiverful. It's for the message of God to spread, because God gave me this assignment for this purpose. So I don't have any expectations. But the truth is, I've just to buttress what you're saying, to let you know, Steve, that you're real. It doesn't make you less of a Christian. It doesn't mean that you don't love God or that you have lost your faith. No. But it's the reality of what we've been through. And nobody can judge us, because we are the ones who have been through it. If you haven't worn my shoe, don't judge me. Wait until you wear my shoes so you can tell me how it feels. But if you're not in that shoe, please keep your advice to yourself. I had a miscarriage shortly after. When I was pregnant, my sister was like 3 months pregnant. So when she gave birth, I was supposed to give birth, my sister gave birth to a son, our first son, in July. I was supposed to give birth in September. My nephew, who I love and admire and adore so much, maybe because I lost my own pregnancy, I don't know, because generally I love my family, is in the university.
Yeah.
Our son is in year 3. But there are things around you to remind you. And sometimes you think you have dealt with it. They'll say, annually we normally have this fertility conference, and we're having that. No, it wasn't the conference. It was a dinner, fundraising dinner. And I was trying to share the story, and I started talking about how I lost pregnancy and all that. And I couldn't believe that I was crying. Steve, I cried. I apologized. I said, guys, I messed up. I thought I was over it. You never really get over, miscarriage is worse. It's better not to be pregnant at all. Yeah. For women, is worse. So you can imagine what your wife is going through. Every pregnancy is a human being to a woman. Yeah. So if you lose a pregnancy, it's as if a child, you have a baby that you born and the baby died. That's how it is with us women. So it's okay. I trust God that as many people that will watch this program will be liberated. I just want to ask a question, because basically we want our men to have a change of heart. How do you advise men who still, put the blame on their women, on their wives? Sometimes there may be nothing wrong with both of you. Sometimes it could be the woman. Sometimes you can't even explain it. And doctors say, your case is inexplainable. You're okay. Your wife is okay. But yet the babies are not coming. What do you advise these men? How do you advise them to, that's why you're a real man. I mean, I listened to you and I just fell in love with you, to be honest. It takes a real man to shield his wife from the pressures, from family pressure, from friends pressure, from all the, people who just deliberately hang around you and make comments to make you know that, yes, you're looking okay, you have a good career, but something is missing. It takes a real man to do that. How do you advise? What advice do you have for our men?
Well, having been in the circumstance, the ugly truth is you can't blame them. You can't blame them. The same way the woman is fighting her battles, the man is fighting his battles. There are scriptures we read, and until you, so to speak, are in those positions, you don't understand, you don't understand them. It takes you to go through something to actually live through scripture. So, I was thinking about how, Abraham was still trusting God, and Sarah says to Abraham, here is my servant, Zilpah or Bilhah. Have sex with her. She will bear children for me. Right? This is his wife, probably seeing the husband who has a promise. And the weight of the promise is crushing the person it has been promised to. Because promise comes with expectation. And good women try to help their partners manage the expectation. So you can imagine that God has given Abraham a word, and for 25 years it's unfulfilled. And he's probably being crushed daily by the promise, by having to be strong. And that's the annoying thing. And which is why I think I'm even more embarrassed that I'm crying, but it blesses somebody, yeah. But I think that the expectation that men must always be strong, you know, is hard. It's really hard. That's why I said, if I was not, and it's not, to be honest, me being, as straight and narrow as God has allowed me to be, is also a function of, the friends and the associations that I have. Because if I was in the wrong space, if I was with the wrong space
Exactly.
with guys,
Yeah.
they will tell you, go and get a second wife or go and get a babe.
Yeah.
And you will
Yeah.
know.
Or get a side chick.
Get a side check, and for me, and this is where this is part of the confusion is. So I know that there's nothing wrong with us medically. There's nothing wrong with us, right? But there's that part of a man who wants to be sure that, what, let me be sure,
By taking a
and that's
sample
what,
outside.
and he takes the sample outside, right? And it causes him to do that. So he wants to really know, okay, you know what? Yes, I know that this thing will scatter my marriage or it'll stress me out, but at least let me know, And it's that not knowing many times that causes men to do things that they don't want to. Some, if they're not prone to cheating, they will drink, they will smoke, they will take vices, all because it is hard to carry this burden. Because again, society, look, I know, so I'm speaking from a man's perspective, so please bear with me, women. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Women are used to go to the hospital to see gynecologists. Men don't go to the hospital unless there's something wrong. Women are conditioned to have either monthly or bi-monthly or quarterly checkups with their doctors. Men do not go to the hospital unless there's something wrong. And when you go to the hospital, and it has to be a fertility case, it is the most, I'm speaking for myself, it is the most demeaning, embarrassing, humiliating thing that any man will go through. Short of a prostate exam, a fertility exam is the most demeaning, embarrassing thing that a man will ever go through.
I know.
The fact that you have to, I've been into hospitals and the nurse gives you a cup and she says you need to go get a sample. I'm looking at her and I'm saying to myself, what does she think about me? What's she thinking about me? She's thinking that this man he doesn't even have it going on. He's not man enough to even do this. You know what I'm saying? And then I take the cup and I cannot masturbate. I just don't know how. I just cannot do it. So guess what? I will stay there and I will, embarrassingly enough, I'll send a message to my wife and I'll ask her to come in with me because I can't do it by myself. And then we will do it. And it will be embarrassing. And I'll be in the hospital. And I'll be under the pressure of thinking somebody's going to come inside. And, this and that. And my wife will be comforting me through it all and saying, don't worry, it's okay. And it's not okay. It's not okay. And then you come out and you're so ashamed and you walk out of the hospital and you don't want to say anything. You don't want to talk. You don't want to say anything. You can't talk on your way back because you feel like you're a failure. You feel like you're a failure. You begin to second guess yourself. So no matter how accomplished you say you are, no matter how accomplished you say you are, no matter how many lives you've touched, no matter how many things you've done, when you come home, and thank God I have a child, but when you come home and you want something, you just can't get it. You just can't get it. You feel like you're a failure. You feel like you've let everyone down. When my daughter will ask me, when am I going to have a brother or sister? try to be strong and you say all the nice words, and she's getting older. She's getting older. The people have talked about adoption and things like that. You know, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Every child needs a home, but every father wants his own. You know what I mean? Every child needs a home, but every father wants his own. He wants to be able to look at the kids and say, that's me right there. So I can't begin to imagine. I can't imagine how other men feel, and that's why I don't blame them. That's why I don't blame them. It takes a great deal of vulnerability, and honesty to, have the right people in your circle who will encourage you, that even when you don't believe, and I know it's the Christian thing to believe, but please, I'm sorry, I don't want to believe anymore. I don't want to believe anymore. I don't want to hear the words. I don't want to know that God's God and God will do it. I know, I get it, I get it. I know He does. I know He will. I know. But even God only has one child. He has Jesus now. Jesus, the only first begotten of the Son of the Father. The rest of us are adopted. So yeah. So if God has only one son, who am I to complain? So I get it. So just to encourage the fellas out there, that look, it's okay. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to feel. Yes, people tell you go and adopt. Yeah, but the child is not yours. Yes, the child is yours by love. But, I can look at my daughter and I can see my mannerisms. I can look at my daughter, my wife can see her mannerisms. She can see her inflection. It's like looking in the mirror. So for even those who are still trusting, who don't even have kids yet, and who are trusting, they will do everything. But what do you do, like you said, when you've done everything? You've done 10 IVFs, and I can't begin to imagine the pain, the discomfort it put you through. And each time it fails, it's like your heart breaking all over again. You know, so yeah, so I drown myself in my work. I drown myself in adopting other children who are old enough to be my brothers and sisters, but I have a big heart. I have been father to many. I am now like grandfather to many because my children have children. But after all that's said and done, you know, I was looking, yesterday I was looking through my computer and I found pictures of my daughter um, when she was born, and maybe from the age of, when she was born till about 2 years old. And I cried, I cried because, she's a big girl now. And all the little things you used to do when she was younger, she's still very affectionate, but, she's almost a teenager now. So there's certain things she's like, oh, Dad, get out of my room. Oh, Dad, all those little things that teenagers do, and one part of you kind of feels like, oh, God, to have another baby again would be so amazing. And, and my wife said to me yesterday, she said, I want a baby. And I didn't say anything because it's out of my hands. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like my soldiers ain't marching. It's not like I'm shooting blanks. It's not like there's anything wrong with her. It's just because they've not approved the baby's visa in heaven, So I don't know what it is. We've done the test. I'm not taking the test again. I can't deal. I can't deal. I can't put her through it. I won't put her through it. I won't put her through it. I won't put her through the pain, the anxiety, the pressure, the drugs, the bloating, the mood swings. It is too much for any woman to go through.
And the injections are not even friendly at all as well. So it's
if I could take half of what she did, I mean, ordinary going to get a sample in a cup is embarrassing enough. Imagine having to do all those other things. So I don't know.
I know, Steve. I this thing about producing sperm in a very unconventional way. I never really know how hard it is for men to do it, And my husband can imagine 10 IVFs. He went through that. I don't know. One time I'm like, you're not going to the clinic. You didn't go to the clinic, and the guy was looking at me, and I'm like, and he looked at me and said, "Do you think it's easy to do this thing?" I was like, "What's so difficult?" I
Yeah.
never knew. I never knew until I said it's not easy unless you're a super you have perfected the art of masturbation. You're into it. That's the only way it's going to be easy for you. It's not easy for any man. So I follow you. I follow you, Steve. I so follow you. And now as we speak, I can see why God wanted us to have this session. You need to look at the comments. You're such a hero today. I'm telling you, if you think you have done anything, you haven't done anything. This program has made you a superhero. You're already a hero, but you're a superhero today.
I don't want to.
You are. Honestly, a lot of people are being healed. Many people are crying as both of us are crying.
I'm sure.
As both of us are crying, there are people crying behind scenes as well. And the healing is taking place. So I believe that God had this plan today. It is a program that we do on a monthly basis. We're going to be posting the next. We don't know who our next speaker is. It may not be When Men Wait. It may be When Men Wait 3. We could look for another man. You know, we just want to focus on our men because a lot is done behind the scenes in Quiverful for our women. One-on-one. We want to reach out to our men because usually when we call them to our enclosed meeting, most of them don't show up. And we respect that. We know it's not because they don't like us. We know it's not because they don't care. We know. So, but on live program like this, even if they don't join us, they can see the videos, they can watch, and they'll be blessed. So I want to say, Steve, thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for accepting the invite. Thank you for being vulnerable.
Yeah.
We so love you. You're a real man, and real men are scarce. And this is one of the things that Quiverful is looking at, because when we have a healthy relationship in our families, then Nigeria is better for it. The Nigeria of our dream that we're all anticipating starts from building a good, solid family. When a child grows up in a loving environment, he goes out there with a whole esteem. He's taught the right values. He goes out and exhibits the right values, and we're all gonna be good for it at the end of the day. So thank you. I love you so much. I love your wife. I love you. I've seen pictures of you, videos of you. I think we're going live, and your wife and daughter were at your back. That's it. When you see a happy family, it's not in the number of children. There are people with 10 kids, 7 kids. They're not happy. There's no peace. So when you see a family where there is love, the child grows up with so much confidence. Your daughter is confident. I see the way she spoke in that video. When a child grows in an atmosphere of love, trust me, like you said, that girl is more than 10 sons. And just watch out for her. And we can't limit a limitless God. That's the truth. We don't have to believe it. Sarah did not believe when the angel appeared to Abraham and said, you know what? Your wife is going to be pregnant. She laughed. And the angel asked, because look at the reality of what, and I know you will say you heard this, but it's the reality of the Bible. And obviously, even Abraham and Sarah were no longer making love, because she said, oh, would my Lord have the pleasure of me? At my age, and at my husband's age, is he going to come make love to me for me to get pregnant? It was a ridiculous prophecy, so to speak. Yeah. But did it happen? The answer, it happened. It happened. We don't know when it's going to happen. We don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know when, but I judge God faithful. I love him. I don't have any other option. Where else will I go? Because when you've tried everything and you've tried God, that God is the real deal. We don't have anywhere to go. And I know he loves us. He loves you. We love you, Steve. Thank you for being so vulnerable. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. This is Quiverful Ministry. We're going to post this video online. Hopefully, please follow us. And unfortunately, most of you on the platform know Steve. So just please follow him if you're not following him yet. Those of you in Quiverful Ministry, is a fantastic. We couldn't read his profile. Your profile is so intimidating. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for being such an amazing coach. You need to look through all of the comments. Someone says,
love you too, Laura. Love you too.
Yeah, it says I celebrate your vulnerability, sir. They love you. They too much love for you.
My wife is the superhero. It's not me. She's the superhero. So
Yeah, no.
she makes it easy. She's the one who makes
Mm,
it easy to
mm,
deal
mm.
with these conversations because maybe some other woman would have been different or
Exactly. Some women will not like let you talk about this.
yeah. So
Never. You
she's
know.
she's the real hero. So
Yeah. Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you to Madam. Thank you so much. I'm going to meet you in person very soon. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. On that note, we've come to the end of the program. Thank you. Love you guys. Watch out for our next event. Thank you. Bye.